Hey guys, this is Jaden Storm coming at you from Team Shadow Strike, and today I'm going to be doing a lot more videos, so there'll be new content up. First off, the first video that I'm going to be doing for you guys is a new deck profile of a new clan that I've never put on the channel before. This is a deck that I've been wanting to build for a long time, and I've been waiting to post this because it was part of a big trade that I was doing with a person I met on here who responded to one of my trade binder updates. By the way, there will be a trade binder update again as well tonight. His name was... One second. It's the EV something, guys. Let me look it up real quick. I want to give him a proper shout out, because if it wasn't for him doing this trade with me, I wouldn't have been able to build this deck. The EV2121. So, but thank you very much for doing this trade for me. Shout out goes to you for helping me build this deck, and I hope the cards I traded you were able to help you build some deck. So anyway, let's get into this. It is a Pale Moon deck. It is the Luquier version, and right quickly I'm going to say something. It's not Luquier, it's not Luquier, it's Luquier. If you're going to play the card, learn how to say it. Grade zeros. My starter is Girl Who Crossed the Gap. No, pretty standard for Luquier builds. Counterblast 1, move her to the soul swap. I also main a Smiling Presenter. It's a Counterblast 1, move her to the soul for you to look at the top 10 cards, and you get to pick one and put it in the soul. I do like this. I decided this isn't the only deck that I've run 2 potential starters in before. I used to do it in my Pelennor deck for Gold Paladins, but I decided to give it a try here. I did not playtest it like this at my locals this weekend, because I could have posted this before this Saturday, but I just didn't. So anyway, I figure this is going to be the starter, and this will be just a tech card. I figure if I see it, I can play it. It can help me get Crimson Beast Tamer in the soul, or some other, key card that I just want to put in there for later. Worst case scenario, it's a 10k shield, so I'm going to give it a try. For triggers, I run 4 Poison Juggler and 3 Dynamite Juggler. I think that, yeah. For 7 criticals, 4 Rainbow Magician, and 1 Spiral Master for draw triggers. So 7 critical, 5 draw, and then 4 heal triggers. I want to play 4 Popcorn Boy because I hate how this card looks, but I only have 1. So if any of people who go to my locals have copies of Popcorn Boy and you have them, please dig those out for me and bring them next weekend. I'll probably trade for them. Let me rephrase that. I will trade for them. Grade 1s, I only have 3 copies of Hades Hypnotist. I'm looking for 1 more, so if you do have one of those, PM me, because I would play 4. 4 Turquoise Beast Tamer. If I got a 4th perfect, I'd probably drop one of my turquoise for it. Pretty simple. If Crimson Beast Tamer's in the soul during your turn, she gains 3k, so she can be a 9k attacker in the front row, or she can boost any unit by 9k. So she can help Luquier hit 19, or any rear guard. She can also create a 11 or a 20k row with a Crimson Beast Tamer with turquoise supporting a Crimson. 3 purple Trapezist. I would play 4 maybe if I had a 4th, but I only have 3. This card is amazing. Definitely, if you're running a Pale Moon deck, you should be running at least 3. It's a staple. 3 Midnight Bunnies. Pretty simple. She boosts an attack that hits your opponent's Vanguard. You counterblast 1 and soul swap. And then I'm playing 1 Skull Juggler, because I couldn't think of another card to shove in here that would really do me any good, so I decided to put in a Skull Juggler, just to give me an extra soul charge or a 7k booster. Grade 2s, of course, we got the 4 Crimson Beast Tamer. Pretty simple. If a Crimson Beast Tamer's in the soul, she goes to 11. During your turn. That's the only bad thing. 3 Elephant Juggler. This card is so ridiculous. You remember that? I haven't done any. I did only 2 or 3 segments of this segment. I was really going to continue. Maybe I'll do it again, but it was just talking about cards' ridiculousness as art, but Elephant juggler. He juggles elephants. That is so cool. Pretty simple. If he's your Vanguard, every time you drop a Pale Moon to the rearguard circle, you Soul Charge. 2 copies of Barking Cerberus, and 2 Nitro Juggler. Nitro Juggler, if he's wrote as the Vanguard or called, you Soul Charge. Grade 3s. This is another part that's not completely done yet. 2 Nightmare Doll Alice. This Barking Manicore is a just a filler until I get a 3rd Alice. I wanted to play something that could act as a backup Vanguard. I do play another card that is designated as my backup, but I wanted to play basically a second backup in case I don't get Luquier or my first option, because I couldn't really think of what else to put in there. I didn't want to put in just one of the boosted, gets an extra 2k, so I decided to just put in Barking Manicore because I play the Crimson Beast Tamers, so... but once I get my 3rd Nightmare Doll Alice, this will drop. So if you do have a Nightmare Doll Alice, please private message me. And check out the updated trade binder when I post it later. My backup Vanguard is 1 Dark Illusionist Robert. Now, this card I do like because this deck needs a Soul Charger. So if, say... There have been times where like I'll open up with Luquier and Robert in my hand and my soul is not as strong as I want it to be. So I can ride Robert and Soul Charge every turn, and I also get to look at the top card of my deck, so maybe I can put a heal trigger there, because the bad thing about this deck is sometimes you can Soul Charge triggers, and the ones that I hate Soul Charging the most are my heals, because you need those for the late game. So this can help you make use of those triggers and hit the ones that you don't Soul Charge, because... You're going to Soul Charge maybe 1 to 3 triggers a game is what I mean, if I Soul Charge only 1 to 3 triggers a game, then that's like if it falls within that number range, that's where I feel the most comfortable that I have control of the game. But, you know, I do like Robert a lot. So that's just my personal opinion. And then I play 3 Silverthorn Dragon Tamer Luquier. Now, people might be saying, well, why don't you play 4 Luquier since she is the boss? I think 3's plenty. I also built this deck in preparation for Luquier Reverse when she comes out, and when Luquier Reverse comes out, I'd rather play 4 Luquier Reverse and 3 regular Luquier in place. So anyway, guys, this has been my Pale Moon Luquier deck. So I hope you enjoyed it. I've gotten to play with. I played with it some of my locals. I played. A couple of my friends around where I live. The deck has play tested really well. It's a lot of fun. The only thing I will say that if you are playing a Luquier deck, the main thing that it's weak against, at least right now, it is tough going up against cross rides, because Luquier sits at 10k on your turn, which means your opponent is even if they attack you straight up 13 to 10, you know, you got to drop at least a 10k to protect yourself, and sometimes. Normally, if like for example, I've played someone who was playing a Pale Moon in the tournament this weekend. He had a 10k Vanguard. I was playing Dragonic Overlord the end, and I had Iron-Tail Dragon behind the end when he was Crossroads, so that's 20k at 10, and that eats your hand up really quick. So if you are playing any kind of Pale Moon deck specifically, which Pale Moon is one of the decks that doesn't have access to a Cross Ride yet, I suggest you be very careful, because it is hard, and your hand will eat away quickly. I might also suggest that if you're planning on using any kind of Pale Moon deck in a tournament, I might suggest you to play maybe 6 draw triggers at minimum, and maybe even considered 7 draws and 5 criticals. You know, but this isn't my main tournament deck, so that's why I just built it for fun. But I've also considered just sitting this at 6 critical, 6 draw. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed it. This has been a Luquier deck. Also, a lesson to anybody who doesn't know how to pronounce Luquier properly. Hopefully you learned how to pronounce it properly. If you have any suggestions for the deck, I'm always open to them, since Pale Moon is still a newer clan to me. I know a lot about it, I just don't know a whole lot about deck building, but then again, the nice thing about Vanguard is everyone has their own personal taste. So, anyway, in the comment section below, feel free to share your thoughts on the deck with me. Tell me what you liked, tell me what you didn't like. I'm pretty sure there'll be someone that says you shouldn't be playing 2 starting Vanguards in the same deck, but it's worked for me before, so I'm going to give it a try for this one. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Comment, rate, subscribe, thumbs up the video, and I'll see y'all later.